very often it happens that in a hurry, like we are in a hurry and we are getting emotional. ये टर्म तो मुझे आता है, ये टॉपिक तो मैं पढ़ के आया, आई विल राइट अ वेरी गुड आंसर, बट इन दैट हरी यू मिस द वन वर्ड. It is very often that you misunderstand one word, and it is very often it also happens that you miss the one word. मतलब एक केस में आपने किसी वर्ड का मतलब गलत समझ लिया, दूसरे कंटेक्स्ट में क्या है कि आपने उस वर्ड को देखा ही नहीं और इग्नोर कर दिया, आपको पता ही नहीं चला कि दैट वर्ड ऑल्सो existed in that question. Why I am saying this? This question has a word called only. If you miss this one word only and you start writing an answer on globalization, you are certainly going to miss the entire demand of the question. What are the keywords? First step, identifying the keywords. What are the keywords? Do you think? आप सोचते हैं क्या ऐसा? क्या विचार है आपका? अपने विचार बताइए. Do you think? This is the first keyword. Second word is globalization. That is the very basic context of the question. Then results in an aggressive consumer culture. Justify your answer. So the question is about globalization. Question is saying that globalization results in aggressive consumer culture. Do you think? Is saying only. Now most of the aspirants, what they will do, the first mistake is that they will miss the word justify. Justify is a very unique directive word in UPSC question. Justify means that you need to take a stand. आपको स्टैंड लेना है, यस बोलो, नो बोलो, या तो बैलेंस्ड रहो, लेकिन एक स्टैंड लो, क्लैरिटी रखो अपने थॉट प्रोसेस में. दैट इज द थिंग जस्टिफाई. एंड डू यू थिंक? Justify is the very basic directive word connected to this term, do you think? And most of the aspirants have missed. They started writing globalization and aggressive consumer culture, but they could not justify, they could not take a stand. This was the first mistake. Second mistake that most of the aspirants have committed is that they have missed the word only. If you are missing the word only, you go on writing against aggressive consumer culture. आप भर भर के आर्गुमेंट्स दे देंगे, ग्लोबलाइजेशन इज नॉट गुड व्हेन इट कम्स टू अग्रेसिव कंज्यूमर कल्चर. And if you are writing that way, certainly you are going to miss the contextual demand of the question. The second mistake that most of the aspirants have done is that they have missed the word only. ये गलतियां आपको नहीं करनी है. That's why I keep repeating in all my sessions, always try to practice to do brainstorming of the questions. 5 सेकंड 10 सेकंड्स जितना भी टाइम लगे शुरुआती दौर में ब्रेनस्टॉर्म कीजिए. विद प्रैक्टिस यू विल लर्न टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज द कंटेक्चुअल डिमांड ऑफ द क्वेश्चन. क्वेश्चन की कंटेक्स्ट, क्वेश्चन का कंटेक्चुअल डिमांड क्या है, क्वेश्चन पूछना क्या चाहता है साहब. अगर आपको यही नहीं पता चलेगा तो आप कुछ ही बखान करके आ जाएंगे और नंबर भी आपको एवरेज मिल जाएगा, 2 नंबर 3 नंबर. सेकेंड स्टेप टू राइट एन आंसर इज स्ट्रक्चरिंग ऑफ द आंसर. First part is writing an introduction. What could be the introduction of this question? Very basic. You can simply define globalization. Globalization को हम simply define कर सकते हैं. How globalization is like meeting of different cultures because of the advent of technology and advanced transportation system. ऐसे करके you can give a globalization. In the introduction, you also introduce this. Globalization, though having lots of benefits, it is being accused, it is being called on for because it is leading to aggressive consumer culture. ऐसे करके you introduced all the relevant key terms in the introduction. Examiner देख के ही खुश. Second is body. You need to make sure that you justify your stand in the body part. How to justify? First you give arguments, again arguments in favor that yes, aggressive consumer culture हो रहा है भाई साहब. क्यों, कैसे हो रहा है aggressive consumer culture? फेवर में आर्गुमेंट देना है आपको. एग्रेसिव हो रहा है फास्ट फूड, फैशन, हमारे रूरल क्राफ्ट्स जो हैं, इंडिजिनस क्राफ्ट्स जो हैं वो डिसअपियर हो रहे हैं. ये चीजें बता सकते हैं, बता सकते हैं कि नहीं? ऑल दिस इज हैपनिंग बिकॉज ऑफ ग्लोबलाइजेशन. और इसकी वजह से एग्रेसिव कंज्यूमर कल्चर है. हम विदेशी कपड़े, हम नाइकी के पैंट्स, हम नाइकी के जूते ले रहे हैं और अपने कंट्री के छोड़ रहे हैं, बता सकते हैं. देन यू ऑल्सो नीड टू गिव आर्गुमेंट्स अगेंस्ट. Why I am asking you to give arguments against is because the question is asking only. नहीं साहब, सिर्फ aggressive consumer culture is not the result of globalization. There are some other good features as well. For example, अगर फैशन आ रहा है और तो उसके साथ साथ, या अगर रूरल क्राफ्ट्स, इंडिजिनस क्राफ्ट्स का डोमेस्टिक मार्केट में अगर डिमांड कम रही है, उसके साथ साथ ये भी हो रहा है दैट कंपनीज लोकेटेड इन इंडिया are getting open global markets for their like sale of their products, provided they are being competitive. ये एग्जांपल दे सकते हैं. You can talk about fusion of culture, fusion of language. इन चीजों के बारे में आप बता सकते हैं. You can write about the open very big global market which is getting accessible to the Indian companies. इस तरीके से you need to write and say, you need to give a balanced thing that no, it would be very extreme to say that globalization is leading to only to aggressive consumer culture. There are certain benefits as well, provided the forces of globalization or how the society is leveraging the forces of globalization. तो forces of globalization को लेकर के like आपने society को forces of globalization से connect कर दिया, or you can write a very good conclusion that how the forces of globalization are getting leveraged by the society that is actually deciding what is the impact of globalization. This way, without any rocket science, without any heavy words, you can write very beautiful, contextually relevant answers. See you in next session.